back to another episode of Undeniable Truth Podcast. And this is the month of music. So I got one of my close bros. I know everybody be like, bros. We gonna get into that later.
That right.
My close bros. Solo. Sitting on the couch today, aka Euro. He's been an artist for what, 15?
Yo, man.
20 years?
It's been in count.
Damn. So that means we don't ask ages on this show?
No.
That just means that we all look very good.
Fine wine.
Young as hell. Hello.
Hey,
we young.
you know black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
Stay intact.
Hello. Now, hold on now, because Solo is my AKA Tupac. That's what I call him.
Yo.
It's the Tupac.
Out the gate. I love it.
It's the nose ring. How long you had this nose ring for?
Yo, I got to switch it up because I might do the stud next. But I've been having I don't know, man. Yo, listen, I'm trying to engage into a different type of Tupac. I've had this nose ring for about 6 years now.
Really? That's it?
Yeah. That's just here. 6 years. That's it. A lot of people, you know what's funny? A lot of people don't recognize it until I take it out.
Yo, it's crazy because I feel like when we first met, it was like almost 9 years ago. And I didn't notice you didn't have a nose ring then.
I didn't have it at the other building.
No, that's crazy. So I know everybody's like, how the freak do y'all know each other? So we actually know each other through the beauty industry.
Yes.
Most people that be on this couch is because I worked in Sephora's as a brand rep. They worked in Sephora's as a BA, LBA. I hate to say the terms of it. But Solo and I have been friends since like Soho days from 10 years, almost 10.
Plus.
Yeah, like
I think it's 10. I think it's a solid 10.
It's like 10 years ago. Like literally.
Where's time?
I don't know.
Flying.
I don't know.
I love it though.
It's crazy though. But the fact is that the time that I've known him, he's been an artist. Like he's been out there putting out music. And you know, one of your latest singles is actually one of my favorite, Miss Me. I've actually put a single on the clip for one of the podcast episodes. You're gonna still hear it. Like it's one of my faves. But like this episode, we want to talk about like what started you with music, where you're going with it, how you're feeling about it. And ladies, Solo, wait, we're going to say it now because I'm going to get that question. Is Solo single?
Let's go back to that. So next segment. I get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get to it.
Go ahead. All right. So let's start. You started 15 years ago. How old were you?
All right,
that means he's gonna tell his age, so we're not gonna say that part.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna confuse everybody. I'm gonna take it even further back than that.
Oh Jesus!
So music has been such a core foundation in the Jones residence, which is my last name is Jones. We like to call it the Jones residence. Okay. My mother, my father, all that. My mother's side is like huge on music. From my aunts. If you have any black friends, I'm not talking about you, El. I'm talking about you out there. If you got any black friends, right? You know. Especially in the age and the era we grew up in, it was mainly, a lot of us came from the church. A lot of us came from choirs. A lot of us came with the white shoes, with the tacky
white gloves,
outfits and all of that. Yeah, we was in the pews, didn't want to be there. We had to be there. So just watching culturally, my family up on the pews, like I'm talking my aunts and uncles, all singing up there, pastor behind them, clapping his hands with the long robe. So music was just embedded since before I even knew it was supposed to be embedded.
Right.
And then it took off mainly because, which I always give credit to, is my brothers. My brothers are pinnacle parts in just like me and the love of music.
Right.
Because I got to see the intricate details of creating music through them. I always loved music, could sing the hell out of something, emulate it, whatever in the shower. But being able to create and curate, I got that from my brothers and being the fly on the wall. So between time, yes, that's been like my teenage years, being the fly on the wall for my brothers. My brother's a producer. My other brother was a singer, artist himself. So just being able to sit there and listen to what they brought to the table and how they did it. I'm a big question asker. I always believe that you don't learn anything unless you ask questions, yo.
Hello.
So if you're not afraid to learn, you're gonna do well in life, because I think that's something that's
learn it every day.
A core essence to humans as a whole,
right.
As our evolution.
Right.
So for me, I knew that was a big part because it was definitely a detailed thing, but you gotta have the love of it. So my family got me into it, my brothers got me into it until I started to do my own thing. So I started my own trek at the age of like 19, 20 years old. I want to say when I really like took it seriously. Because I feel like if you want to do something for yourself, if you wanted to do something with passion, if you want to do something with love and for the love of it, you got to love it. Like you got to love what you about to get into before you do it, and you make this something that you do every day because you don't get paid from it right away. So you gotta love it.
Hello, we know.
It's a hustle and a grind, and you gotta respect it because everybody goes through it. You don't miss. There's no loopholes. I mean, you do have others that have better positions and stuff like that. But again, the quality of what you bring to the table, you can't jump those steps. You got to go through the ups and downs, the disappointments, the heartbreak,
the hard way.
The how you call it, the yes, I'll take care of you, don't worry about it. I got your back. Da 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 da. That's the business side of it. But the music side of it all, I think that's something that can't be taught. You got to be in love with it to do it. To actually do it to the best of your ability, but as far as longevity and such and so forth, you have to be able to love the game and love music and everything like that, and hit the gym.
Well, I was a Jimmy with it, so I know I was a Jimmy with it at one point.
Absolutely.
So now, being that is years later, you have how many singles? We could not even
countless.
count.
I think I'm off top. I have about singles. I have about 10 singles. I have a project. I have 2 projects, actually 2 albums, and I have 1 EP.
Ooh,
and
so
a bunch of features and stuff like that. So,
and this is the exciting part because EP is like that's where you're like really going in. So, how long have you been working on this EP, especially from the last single you came out with a couple months back?
Yo, real talk. I have a problem. I think most artists go through this situation or this problem where holding on to music or letting it go, right? So. It's one of the things where with music, man, it's our craft, right? It's our baby, so we take it personal. I know a lot of artists are emotional about their music and they're very, very like guarded with their music. So it's for multiple reasons. A lot of artists are very guarded from the, what do you call it? The I would say the criticism that they may receive. They don't want to go through that. Some people may just, they don't feel like it's right timing. Some people just don't feel like, I don't have all of the right access to certain things to do a full release. And I got taught this long time ago by this A&R who basically signed Mary J. Blige, Wu-Tang, Redman, Method Man. His name is Rich Castina. He says, look, you never know where you at if you don't put yourself out there and see where you're at. A lot of artists
that is a fact.
Are holding on to magic that they don't know that they can that can take them to the next level. Put it out, fine. You don't got a video, all right, whatever. It is what it is. People ain't gonna love the video if they don't love the music.
It's true.
You gotta expose yourself in certain areas and talk about things that are going on in your life. That's why Miss Me, one of the singles I put out this year, was doing, and it did, and it does, and it still is doing so well because of it was a personal situation that happened with me. That I needed to address to get off my chest and just move on with it. And it's a relatable situations that goes on within that song. So a lot of the time, man, and I was hesitant to put that out. A good friend of mine, one of my good homies, he's always in the studio with me. My shout out to my boy Kelvin. And
I know Kelvin.
You know Kelvin. He's that's my guy right there.
Photographer too.
Yeah, photographer too. So check in, tap in with my guy. He does great work.
We'll definitely link him in here, and we'll have him on for an episode.
Absolutely. He would get mad at me.
Why?
Like, and I've known Kelvin for years. He would get mad at me because when I would play certain things that I haven't put out yet, and I have stuff that I have done years ago, he's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, Duke, what are you waiting for, son? What are you doing? What are you waiting for? So sometimes as an artist, even me doing this for over these amount of years, you get caught up in yourself. You get caught up in the unknown of what this could be, or if it could be something, or if I might waste a single.
So you kind of a little bit of fear.
I think all artists have a certain level of fear. I'm a hooper. Like I play ball too. Like that was one of my main things growing up. And one of the things that I would always hold on to and keep close is the fear. Fear can work in your favor because
Correct. I agree with that.
You have the fear of the unknown, but the unknown is so dope that you fear it.
It's
right?
true.
So
true.
My mom is a God-fearing woman. My father's a God-fearing man. And we all about the unknown. We don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. I could be holding on to these records and it never come out. I could die tomorrow, God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
God, that's not but I'm just saying, like, we just never know what our future entitles or entails. So me holding on to it, I didn't realize what it meant, not to me, but to people who support me and like my music. the way he described it was, yo, you're depriving people of what people may need. Because I know that he told me there's a lot of music that I have done throughout the years that helped him out through his situations personally. You dig what I'm saying? So for me, I'm over here thinking selfishly like, nah, they ain't ready yet. I ain't got enough. I ain't got the full production crew. I don't got to put that. Meanwhile, my core fans and my fan base are like, dude, what's wrong with you? Respectfully, you got to put this out. Like, this is what we need. So, you know, shout out to my core fan base and my people and my team around me that encouraged me to be more fearless and be more have more reassurance of what you're doing. Understand who you are as an artist and how you got this far and where you came from. And that's where you have those moments of, oh shit, damn, I was trash earlier. But that was
I'm done.
No, but that's the real rap of it. You look at the stuff that you've done, anybody in life, whether you're a painter, whether you are a makeup artist, whether you're whatever you are in life, whatever, you know, journeys you've taken, you look back at the origin, you look back at the start, and you're a harsh critic like myself. I always, you know, I'm very critical of myself, and I'm very hard on myself. So I look at it and I'm like, that was trash. Like, but to most, that's like, oh, that was dope. So just as long as you can do that and you can have that moment of reflection and look back and see where you came from, where you've been, and where you are now, and how you're still moving, that gives you the love and it keeps you going.
Well, I can say that because we've had conversations where I talk about the podcast. This podcast is almost 2 years old, and I always have the supportive team, even my team behind the cameras who is in here now.
Shout out to them.
You know, pushing, talking about you got to keep going. But what we even spoke about, you used to tell me all the time, like, listen, you're not going to get that crowd to listen right now, but you'll eventually get that crowd.
Absolutely.
And I know it's from the experience of what you went through with music.
Absolutely.
So with that now, because also Solo is a dad.
Absolutely.
I love to put that out there because he has 3 girls. One's in college, another one's behind, and a little one that is very stylish and fly. And the
boss.
And I know, like, they look up to you, being that you're a dad, and that what do they think about, like, your music and what you're coming out with? Like, do they listen to it? Because some of it's a little raw.
Yeah.
Some of it's not.
Yeah. So that's a great question. I actually I just brought Callie, my youngest, to the studio recently.
Fly girl.
And just to give her, because my thing has always been this. I never want to force my kids to do what I'm doing in my career. I'm a super supportive dad. I'm a super supportive person, friend. I'm a super supportive in anything that you do. So I would have her be around, but not pushing it until recently she said, I don't want to come to the studio. So she came and she was actually watching Bree Star perform, Brianna Star record. And she just fell in love with it even more. So now I'm like getting her geared and prepared to see what she wants to do about it. And my 2 oldest is pretty funny, man. Like I got teenagers and now a young adult in college, and which
the
is
fact that
crazy
this man got a child in college, that just shows you black.
Shout out to Skincare.
Don't catch.
Shout out to Skincare. I use that shit all the time. How my drink looking right now? I'm just saying. That's my little cheat code, man. I try to stay stress free and drink more water and mind my business.
Hello. Drink the water.
Absolutely, you have to, yo. That's nasty work. If you out here just drinking wild Don Julio all day,
y'all know how I feel about that Don.
And vitamin water ain't water. Get yourself something that's clear and not Don.
Hello.
Yeah. So,
hello.
I had to keep that. Yeah. Shout out to Don though. If you out there, you want to support.
Yeah, but that's a weekend drink, not an everyday drink.
Yeah, that's not everyday drink. Yo, you need your electrolytes. You need your hydration.
Hello.
No, but so it became a situation where my daughters. When I started doing music, my daughters were at a certain age where, you know, it was interesting because they were like, they would, all the friends would ask when I picked them up from school, "That's your dad? Oh my God, what does he do?" They would ask them that all the time. So when they would say I do music and they would show them, they'd be like, "Oh my God, your dad's a superstar." So just hearing that, and then having their friends hear it, and first, you know, it would be a little bit embarrassing for them, I guess. You know, kids are kids, right? Especially in the teenage era. But I would look at that as like, or they end up telling me like, "Dad, like it's super dope," because when I talk to my friends and they speak on their fathers, you know, it's none of their fathers are, you know, first off my age, number one. I started early in the game. So, but and also just more so like still tapped in what they like and what they do. And I'm not out here with the icy knee. I don't have the icy hot my knees. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta soak my joints.
I would feel bad.
We
if you
outside still. You know what I'm saying? Pop
you'd be
Duke still
like,
looking
right.
good. I'm
you
fly.
still got the Jodeci knees.
Yeah,
I
you know
got
what I
the
mean?
Meg the Stallion. I hear you. Yes.
You dig what I mean? So it became a moment of just like them realizing, and me realizing how blessed I am to have not only my girls, but in them to have me as well. So like we bounce music off each other all the time, yo, all the time.
So they're basically a big influence on what you should write.
Absolutely.
Because he doesn't just write songs, you produce.
Yeah.
He's a manager for Brianna Starr.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys met Brianna Starr in our last episode. So like
big things.
You do a lot around the music industry, period now. Like you're just, so my thing is for you, like, where do you see yourself in a couple of years? Like, give or take like 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, man. I first and foremost, I just want to be blessed enough to still doing what I'm doing. That's number one. I think some of the things we take advantage of and we don't see how blessed we are.
Amen.
is every day waking up, starting to breathe and breathing this breath air and opening our eyes, man. That's such a big blessing. I've lost so many. We've all lost so many, but personally, me, I've lost so many close to me growing up. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, man. Like where I grew up at wasn't the friendliest. Hey, you already know all day. If you ain't here to accent, now you know. You ain't don't get it confused, twisted, or miscued. I'm from Brooklyn. So growing up where I grew up in East New York. There was a lot of turmoil. There was a lot of poverty. There was a lot of, energy that a lot of young kids shouldn't be around growing up in, which helped me personally because, I was in a state where my brothers wasn't home no more, so I was the only one in the house, and then I was mainly outside doing my thing. And it's funny enough, I want to bring it back to what you asked me earlier. I really started getting into music, and you just reminded me. When I left to go to college, I went away to school. I went to Nyack College, and then I was blessed to have 3 roommates. We had a big room quad. I was blessed to have 3 roommates that changed my whole perspective and energy about music. They helped me because there was a point in time where I kind of thought I couldn't, or I wasn't able to do it, or I just didn't have the resources. And then what made me fall in love, one of the main things that made me fall in love was this is right before I had my kids, actually, my first daughter. One of my closest friends, his name was Lonnie Naveen, God rest his soul. He passed away. And Brandon Perkins, and I had another roommate in my room was Adam Maldonado. And I
it's
swear
the fact you remember the names.
Yeah, I'm names. I'm getting better with it. We would have, and I kid you not, since we had the biggest room, every night we would have freestyle battles. Every night. And I promise you the whole dorm would be in the room. I don't know how we would fit everybody in that whole selection, but my boys could contest to this. We would have freestyle battles every night. And the way that I got in tune, it would just be such a good dynamic of people inside there. I would literally, myself personally, we all go in. I would freestyle for a half an hour to an hour straight. And this is no cap. How the kids say no cap. It's no cap. I was like that back then, like especially with rap. This is what really put the fire in my belly because my man Lonnie Naveen, rest his soul, he would be like, yo, Duke, you playing basketball, but that ain't you. Like you changed lives. See it. Yeah, he saw it. He was the first one to really see it. Really, really see it. He said, Duke, he's from Harlem. So, he was one of the flashy type. He knew what he saw. He knew potential.
Right.
And he saw me. He was like, Duke, I'm with you every night, and I'm seeing how you are rapping, and you going off the top of the dome, and you whatever topic we wanted to talk about, they would throw it in there, and I would go and just readjust and rap about that. I'm a big fan. We was talking earlier. I'm a big fan of DMX and Hove. Those artists' perspective and those artists' approach to the mic is what I always loved, and it grew on me. But it blossomed in college. It blossomed when I was away in school, and right before my boy Lonnie passed away, one of the main things he told me was, it's crazy. I was supposed to be with him. He took a trip to DC, and that's when everything happened. But right before he left, we ended up linking up, and he was like, dude, that's how he always started his conversation. Yo, my dude, basketball is cool. He always tell me this. Basketball is cool, but music is you. You inspire people, and you do that through music. You don't realize it, but you do that through music, and it's going to be on a bigger scale one day. So once he passed away, those words stuck to me. Like it really, really stuck to me. So that helped me with my push and pursuance in music. But
That's crazy though, because it's just like you never know who you've been influenced by.
Yo,
It could be the crackhead on the side of the street.
That's a
I'm
fact.
just saying.
That's
I'm
a
just
fact.
saying. But we're gonna hold that thought because we gotta take a quick break. So stay tuned in, and we'll be right back after this.
No better time, stay ready. Closed another deal on my celly, dog.
Hey guys, make sure you go and check out Euros Music, now streaming on all major platforms. Also, make sure you go and follow him on IG. I will make sure to include his handle name right here on the episode. And also go check out his new artist, Brianna Starr, with her new single, Nevermind.
One pick, they still gon' ask who took it. Dirty business, they taking shots, but hold up, they aiming crooked. Stay on your P's, Q's, and carries, even your main to switch. Even your main bitch, know that you be on lame shit. Part of my back, they coming up short, like Benzino dogs. Smoking that pack where Euro stepping over them evil odds. This ain't no dance.
Hey guys, we're back on Undeniable Truth Podcast with my bro Solo.
In the
Hey,
building.
boo. We was talking about his hat. We was talking about how Ray J on Love and Hip Hop.
He made his name off the different hat size he was throwing it on.
And it wasn't even a fitted. It was a beanie.
It was a beanie. So how many ways you could throw a beanie?
Bro, but it's the fact
That's
that how many
insane.
times did the camera come off of him to put
Yeah.
the beanie
Well,
that many ways?
Right. It was angling it. Then he was like serious. So you couldn't really laugh because it was like, is this part of the whole, you know what I mean?
He's a character. He's a character.
Shout out to Ray J, yo.
So yeah, listen, he's a
38
character.
jobs.
He's a character. Now, we were talking about the EP because
Yep.
you know this EP is coming out next month.
Next month. God Don't Like Ugly.
Is the first single gonna be a bop or is it gonna be like a slow joint?
Um,
Don't be doing that to me. Come on, you know I like the bop, but I like the slow. I like the R&B, fully slow.
the reason why I'm kind of like is because remember I told you I grew up in the church. I grew up in the household. I grew up where this is where the core foundation of me started.
Melodies from Heaven.
Melodies
Mhm.
from Heaven.
Hello.
I'm tapping into a lot of don't get me wrong, this ain't no gospel album. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. But expect a lot of like
Friday? Kind
good
of like Friday?
feeling, homegrown choir sounds.
Okay.
Very intricate organs incorporated with trap. Like I'm very this is gonna be such a different project that I am going to dedicate to my grandma. Shout out to Greater St. John Church,
Hey,
East New York,
Grandma.
Brooklyn. I used to play the drums for y'all a long time. Shout out to my cousin T. Edwards. He used to be on the organ. I used to be on the drums.
Hold on. So you also play instruments. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. You know what they
Yeah.
say about a man that play instruments? That's
Oh, my
all I'm
Lord.
saying.
Hey, listen, as long as it's good, I take it.
That's all I'm saying.
They call me
Oh.
Tyrese for a long time. But
I'm
so I was like, I'll
done.
take it. You know what
Tupac,
I'm saying? Tupac,
Tyrese.
Any chocolate brother with a baldy is just, yeah, they threw me under that.
So he's my DMX
Right, DMX, come on.
and Belly. I say it all the
Yeah.
time. That's the DMX
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, hey. DMX, yo, all day.
Yo, I can't.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that's the project is gonna be. So to answer your question, yes, it will be an
Upbeat.
tempo.
Okay. That's fine. I can still bop to it in the
record.
car.
Absolutely.
Can my son listen to it?
Absolutely.
Nephew
We're
can
gonna
listen to it.
Yeah, we could. Neff could definitely turn.
Now,
up
if you can
this.
listen to it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
All right. He can listen
yeah,
to it.
he definitely can.
And how many songs is really going to be on this EP? Have you figured that out yet?
So I'm doing 5 for the EP, but then we're doing a full album right after that. The
Okay.
album is gonna be 12 songs, 12 heats. Like I'm talking about. So this EP, I didn't really want to put out. I wanted to incorporate it in with the actual album,
Okay.
but it would have been way too many songs. And living in today's day and age, your attention span is everything. I didn't
Mhm.
want to I want people to appreciate each body of work.
Okay.
And I think that that's something that people will do because they can appreciate something different, but then also something that's still relatable and something that's still got a bop to it. So I understand the dynamics of making music. Like you can't just totally just flush them out with something different. You got to kind of give them a little bit of what they like, incorporate them, reel them in. And then you do though, in a sense of, look, what I mean is it don't have to be the lyrics. Like I'm not talking about dumbing down what you're
Okay.
saying. I think that one of the main artists that I like a lot, and he's been able to transition himself through time, was 2 Chainz, right?
Right. That is true.
2
Very true.
Chainz been in the game, I don't think people realize,
For
over 20-some
years.
years.
For years.
Yeah, duffel bag boy is what they used to call them. And
For years.
his style of him being who he is always authentic. So it's gonna stay genuine. But then one of the ways you can also incorporate what people like is through production work. And I've been blessed to be around a lot of producers and been a lot of production that I have for this project is that. And when you hear it, you're gonna know exactly what I mean. So it's not me taking away anything that I have to bring to the table. It's just me giving more of me and more of something different to the table. Trust me, I'm telling you, you about to hear some shit. You about to hear some shit.
I'm getting excited because
you about to hear some shit. And I kept this close to chest.
You sing, you rap, you do a little bit of everything. So it's like to hear that on one album and then you have features. Like, is Brianna Starr going to be a feature?
I got something lined up for Brie. I got something lined up for Brie. For sure. I got it. Like, it's the home team. That's the home team. It's funny. I was just recently talking with her and I told her, I said, yo, I might have a joint that's for us. That's kind of like, I was listening to, what's that song with Rihanna and SZA? I mean, not Rihanna, with SZA and Travis Scott. Love. Oh my God, it's gonna kill me right now.
We need to get this title because I listen to Trav, but not as much.
Yeah.
So
him and SZA have a record out. It was off of SZA's album.
Love
he was
More?
featuring Love. I think it's something like that in that realm. I need.
Oh
I
yeah,
need,
everybody knows that song. But it's sad that we don't know the title right now.
Right. Sorry about
Horrible,
that.
right? Horrible. But we all know what
Energy
the song
records,
is.
yeah. So type of records like that. So I have something for her for like in that type of vibe. But moving forward, like this album I'm super excited about because there's certain records I've held on to for the longest that I had to get retouched up. But it's a reason why I held on to these, and you guys are gonna see why.
I'm excited for this.
And hear why actually.
I've seen you transition over the years, like with the music, and like
absolutely.
I've seen it, like, and it's beautiful what you have created.
Yeah.
It's beautiful that you're bringing out your own artists now.
Yes.
It's beautiful that you produce. So I'm excited to see what you're gonna do for yourself. Yeah. That's like dope. Like, this is an exciting thing.
I'm excited.
Now, we already talk about the girls? Like, now that your mom, she a church woman. How does she feel about you making certain music that you make?
Yo, man, my dream is to get my mom to a concert. I've performed a lot of places, man, and my mom supports. I'm not trying to make my mom out to be some guy.
Of course.
But being a Pentecostal black,
I'm scared already. Just from you saying that part.
I'm talking about the woman. She wore the big hats. You talking about the hats with the net wrapped up in it like a bird nest.
I believe it.
Those type with the matching shiny joint with the shoes.
That you had to say yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
Yeah. Congregation say amen. Yeah, that's type. So
hallelujah.
I'm still scared. My mom is about 5'2", and I'm still nervous of her, yo. Like I can't say certain things around her that I would like to.
I would be too.
You know what I mean? But yeah, so she's supportive in the sense of she always wants me to be happy. She always, whatever makes me happy, she always tells me, make sure you do that with a clear and conscious and loving heart, and put God first in it. So if anything, I take
about that.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. I can't do nothing without God. There's nothing that I've ever done or will I ever do without Him being at the front of it all.
Right.
I send everything up to Him. Any type of decision makings. I've asked Him, yo, listen, God, like I need help ASAP.
You gotta talk to Him.
Yeah, you gotta talk to. And like people think that when you talk to the man God, you gotta have this whole, Santa, whatever you want to call it. Like, no, yo, I talk to God like I'm talking to you. Yo, big homie, what's good? I'm your shit fucking crazy right now, yo. Pardon my French. But he understand. Like,
you
we
leave
humans.
it in his hands. That's the thing. And like I said, like on episodes, we don't usually get into like talking about religion and stuff. But I like to put forth that if you don't leave it in his hands, that's what God wants you to do. Right. You're not supposed to leave it on your shoulders. You got to be able to leave it in his hands because he's going to guide you the right way. So I completely understand. I'm learning more and more each day. Yeah. And then we got to teach our kids this. Absolutely. Because if they don't got God in their life, they ain't going nowhere.
Higher power. Like I whatever your higher power is, whatever you call, your Messiah or God or however you want, how deep you want to go into it, just make sure you do it with a pure heart and make sure you put that or whatever it is first. If that's something that drives you to do things positive. Yeah. Because I'm all about positivity, yo. That smile, I always smile.
You already know how I feel about that. Yes, Coming into work dancing.
Yeah. Yo, listen. I tiptoe into work with my little two-step. Like
Hello.
This is something that you have to initiate. You know what I mean? And that's what I've learned over the years, yo. Initiate your happiness. Don't wait to somebody to either take away from your happiness or give it to you. You bring it. And then that's where, you know, you become and you develop your own personality, you develop your own style. So that's always been me though.
Hello, I already know.
You know me.
Now y'all learning. Y'all are learning. So now that we know that you have this EP, we know the first bop is going to be a bop bop.
Yeah. Yep.
Are some of these love songs, are some of these going to be something that relates to dating today, this age? Because y'all know I'm going to bring up dating in this episode. It's the music episode, but music, most writers write about what their experiences are.
Correct.
From love to family to hurt to anything. So is some of your music going to pertain to the way that dating life is nowadays? Or like if you want to be in love, like in the future, like what is it going to pertain to?
It's going to pertain to, if you've heard my single Miss Me, it's going to be in that realm of relativity. When it comes down to just, everything is relatable when it comes to relationships because of the fact that we all go through something one way or another. We all go through either heartbreak, you know what I'm saying? We go through happiness, we go through ups and downs. So my piece and what I bring to the table or what mine is just a little bit perspective, maybe a little bit raw, but it's just my perspective and what I've gone through. So yes, relationship-wise, it's going to be speaking on that. It's going to be speaking on just, I don't want to sound too generic when it comes to trial and triumph and stuff like that and making it through. And no, because certain songs is going to be, it's not going to have an answer to them. It's just going to be my feeling on what I'm going through at that moment in time. I might not have a solution, but this is just me being open, me being vulnerable, and me being relatable to somebody that may not raise their hand and say that's me, but they can do it where they put their headphones on.
That's it.
So it may not be a solution that may happen in right at that moment, but just know you ain't the only person going through it. So I think that's more so what this project is going to be about, just experiences. And some of you gonna have where it's going to be like, all right, cool, yeah, we was going through this and now we here. Now, yeah, what up now, motherfucker? So you're going to have those records, yeah. So I think a culmination of both because, again, nothing is smooth. We're human beings. We go through shit.
You gotta take it one day at a
You know what I'm
time.
saying? And then relationships nowadays, yo, I just don't know, yo. Like
It's
see
not a
people-
relationship. It's a situationship. Excuse my mouth. A fluctuationship.
What you say? How you
A
call it?
fluctuationship.
A fluctuation. Is that in Webster? We got that in
No, that's the
Webster? That's the
Lorenda.
Lorenda Webster?
Yeah, because I just don't.
You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
understand it.
It makes sense though. I think nowadays everybody's scared. I think we all have a nervous code that we're following because we want to follow it, but then again, it's like we got friends that go through shit. We hear it all the time. And now more than ever, social media is putting everybody's relationship
I
on
hate it.
blast, yo. I see people that be in relationships one week, next week, fuck him. He ain't shit or she ain't shit. So we see this all the time. We hear it about it all the time. So it's not like this is something new, but I think relationships nowadays, people have too much access to, I think people have too much access to what they're not supposed to have access to.
What do you mean? You about to get into that? I'm trying to understand what you're talking. What you mean?
In detail, I think that the word private has gone out the window.
Yeah, because
right?
it's everything. Listen, can I intervene?
No, go ahead.
There should be no reason that if me and you broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, prime example. DDG, the one that was with Haley Bailey.
Yes.
I just saw that he posted that they broke up.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't care about nothing, just if his son's okay. But then he had the nerve to go and put in her head is nasty. Like she didn't give good head. I'm sorry.
That's wild.
As a woman,
Yo, that's wild, yo.
that's the most disrespectful thing I have to hear. I don't think the world needs to know that.
At all.
I just think that's beyond disrespectful.
At all.
I don't care how much we went through. There's no reason why social media should be knowing your business. I can understand you putting up a quote and you like, oh, this is how my life is.
Right.
But to know that you wrote that verbatimly and then gonna lie talking about I didn't write it.
Sure, they ain't look back at it when I was hitting it from the back. She ain't shit. Like, yo, son, like what? Like I'm a random individual, so that's what I'm thinking.
What? Like,
you know
what is the point of putting that up? I feel like if you're so private, like, because those be the people that claim I'm private. No, the fuck you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. Why are you
true.
putting that out there? But at the end of the day, that's also disrespectful. Her parents or somebody else can see this and know about it. Like,
absolutely. That's
not something I would ever. And you have a child. Do you not understand that your kids can go back one day and be like, what did that mean?
It's
like,
all documented. All this is going to be in the website forever.
That's what I'm saying.
So somebody can go back 20 years from now. We Googling that. We can go back and see that. His kids going to see that as they get older. His kids. And unfortunately, I think that's never the route. I think that's sucker shit at the end of the day. Like I feel like relationships have ups and downs, cool. If you can't deal with certain things in the relationship and it go left or go south, all right. Both parties had a part in that in some way, shape, or form. It's not the blame game, and you know,
you gotta take accountability.
Yeah, you gotta take accountability.
But that's the problem in relationships now. Nobody takes accountability for what they do.
Right.
If they do, and I'm just saying from what I observe,
yeah,
and my experiences too, is that people are so quick to be like, I do feel this way. I.
Yep.
But yet you're not saying, but where I went wrong was,
right.
It's more of, I did this, I couldn't do that,
Yeah.
I did this, I did it, but there's no where I went wrong was.
Right. That's how you can always know this, how the situation may have occurred. Like I've, you know, people break up all the time, right? I have my homies, they break up with they, you know, significant other, whatever the case is, and they might be hurt behind the camera. Like they are, I'm talking about, and I ain't exposing nobody, but some of my boys have relationship issues or situations where it really broke them. Like it really broke
and they
them
didn't
down.
put it out there.
And don't get it twisted. And I think that's the preconceived notion that people have about us as, you know, as men, that we don't care because we don't show it, right? But I think our ways of showing that we are hurt or something's wrong with us doesn't consist of us showing it through IG or Instagram or whatever, social media. I think for me personally, like if I'm going through something, if I'm ever going through something, the quieter I get, that's when you know, all right, something going on. Like, but you ain't got to assume. Because the thing is, I take that time out to be rational. I take that time out not to react. I take that time out not to be emotional. Because the thing is, I can easily, something going on with me, I'm like, this motherfucking bitch. Did it. Like, we all can. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, and we have that access outlet now to do that and be comfortable with it. Like, diaries used to be something that used to write.
Oh, no. Do you know what diaries are nowadays? Twitter.
Yeah.
From what I heard. That's where everybody's putting their feelings. And I'm like, y'all ain't never just talk to the person you have a problem with.
Right.
Y'all ever never expressed what you feeling about that person to that person.
Right.
Y'all never ever just said, yo, I'm actually mad at you. I actually love you. I actually like you. I actually want to see myself with you. Instead, you go to Twitter.
Cornballs. I think, yo, real talk, like we got to call it out for what it is. And I do that too. I do that as well. Like when it come down to just like my boys, we're very transparent and real with each other, yo. A couple of my mentors, man, my boy Austin Andrews, and my boy Kane, these guys like I travel with.
Hold on, cause Solo got some cute friends. That got one got a little something on his face, and he remind me of a little pit bull.
Yeah. That's my dog right there. We all go to Martha's Vineyard together.
Always see him in the pictures.
That's my dude. They all 6'8", 6'9", and better. I'm one of the shorter ones in my group.
Yeah, you are.
Believe it or not. And I'm 6'3", 6'2", whatever. But but we all keep each other grounded because we know that we fuck up too. So a lot of the times we don't like to say that because it feels like we're being vulnerable, we're being like we're giving in.
Right.
I think that any relationship where you can be vulnerable with your partner in, and you can say, babe, look, before you start the conversation off, you can start it off by saying, look, this is where I fucked up.
But
you dig what I'm saying?
You got to also understand that some of these people are not in relationships, they're in situationships. So nobody knows how to communicate because it's a situationship.
That's
Everybody
true.
want to be mad at each other and not express.
That's
you
true.
You cannot do that.
Yeah, and also you can't.
Doesn't always have to be through texting.
Right.
It could be pick up the phone,
Right.
FaceTime.
That's true.
And or be in person.
That's true. It's the little things that matter. I think that's what's the lost art. I think people want the grandiose, or not people want. Social media has equipped it to thinking that people need the grandiose approach to show love.
Yeah.
Or to show that they are really in for the long haul. You don't really need that, yo. Like, let me tell you something. A hot meal, they come home to a hot, warm meal, yo.
Y'all many y'all meals.
Yo, listen, yo.
Okay.
Yo, listen, that whole scenario of just like way to a man's heart is do his belly, that shit is real, yo.
I agree.
If Shorty can't cook, that's a little bit of a problem.
Hold on now.
I'm just saying, Shorty
say
can't.
this all the time.
Respectfully, yo, we ain't ordering all day.
I ain't top-notch chef, but I know how to make some food.
You got your go-to, right?
Hey.
All right, so hey,
hello.
listen, if it's a go-to, then it's a go-to, and it's a good thing. But I think that at the end of the day, I think it all starts with recognizing that we're all human beings, right? We all fuck up. In a relationship, nobody's greater than the other, even in a situationship, right? Because sometimes situationships, there's this ego involved still, because it's like, hold on,
it's not always ego. And I know we probably gonna have to take a break because I feel like our episode is about to go a little further.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we give it a hold on. We're gonna hold that thought. We're gonna take another break, guys, because this is like one of the longer episodes. So I definitely want to get into this. But we'll be right back after this. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I know you want to. You know you need me. This ain't no walkthrough.
Hey guys, you know I don't never do second breaks, but this episode was getting so good with Euro that we had to do a break and continue the conversation. So make sure you stay tuned.
Ain't on that time today, but I gotta be real with myself. I ain't been feeling myself. Life too real in itself. Just gotta find a way. Miss me with all that bullshit. Miss me. I just wanna count these. This me running down the bills. You shit me. But we can't kick a lie. Let's see.
Hey guys, we're back here on Undeniable Truth with Solo.
Yep.
We don't never do 2 breaks, but we was getting into it.
Yeah.
All right, and we're gonna continue. So we were talking about how the dating pool is really shitty, and like a lot of his music is gonna pertain to some of what people might be going through, what they may not. It just depends on how people take it. But what we were talking about is like how the dating pool, like how the hell are people so either disrespectful, don't communicate, like. What's the best way now? Like, what advice would you give somebody right now who comes to you and saying, yo, I'm going through this with my situationship. I'm going through this with my fluctuationship. I'm going through this with my girlfriend right now where we just not communicating. What advice would you give them?
Yo, real talk, I think you got to get back to basics. I think people try to do too much to figure out who they like and what they like, right? I think you got to have a certain self-awareness of who you are, because that's big. Like, I think people don't understand who they are and they want people to understand who they are. And I think that's the mistake. And you'll never, if you don't know who you are, how you expect somebody else to know who you are? So I think
Agreed.
you got to get back to basics. And I think in situationships nowadays, I think it's a very icy, slippery slope when it comes to that, because you're never going to get who you want from a situationship. I don't know, not one, it's very rare you find somebody that you have a situationship that leads to something else like major, but I think that it's worth the try. I think nowadays because of the pool of what it is, right? Let's just say New York, for example. We all live in New York.
Hold on. We know that New York has been ranked as the #1 worst dating spot out of all the fucking states.
Yeah.
Which is a fact. I'm going to say it. Yes.
I think expectations got to be realistic. If you've never bought yourself a Birkin bag, how do you want somebody else to buy you a Birkin bag?
Okay, so
if you never, if as a guy, if you never had somebody who had a 36 top, 26 waist, I don't know what the measurements are that they use. If you never had any in your life, how is that now something that you cannot not have? Like, I think that there's certain things that people. We living in this is an old movie I love. It's called The Truman Show. Like, I think people living in their own world, but it's not even like the world that makes sense. You got to make it make sense. Like, I hate bringing in the table shit, but what are you
bringing to the table?
Bringing to the table in the sense of, how do you want your next 7 years to look like? What do you want? Like, do you even have a plan for yourself? I think that that's something that people who want a relationship don't ask themselves. They want a relationship because it looks dope. They see Love and Hip Hop, or they see
Love and Hip Hop is not a prime example of what love should be.
Oh, no. You right.
Sorry, Rashida and Kirk.
You right. But
not sorry.
But people take certain things from that show and try to apply it. Or Desperate Housewives of whatever state they in, because they got like 80 different joints now.
Oh, the Real Housewives of whatever.
And most of them ain't even housewives.
Ain't even housewives. They ain't even married.
Right. So I think people we're living in both worlds. We're living in reality, but then also we're living in this whole matrix because of what's being shown to us, what we see on a daily basis.
It's social media. All right, so let's bring it back to, I know all of us, even behind the cameras, we all remember when they had put up that thing on the Shade Room talking about a shorty had a list of places that she would not go on a date.
Yep.
Cheesecake Factory, all of that. All right. I'm just giving an example from my perspective.
Yeah.
A date doesn't always be consistent. Is that what the word I'm looking for? Consist of. Sorry, guys.
I got you. You help me.
I'm tired.
Now you help me too.
Wear it off.
You know what it is? It's this, but we ain't gonna send no promotions because they ain't Supreme promoting us yet. Yeah. Whatever was in his cup.
Yeah.
It was doing his numbers. Yeah, my fault.
Basically, a date doesn't always have to consist of going for food.
Right.
I'm such a simple girl, which I know a guy friend that told me, you are very rare.
Right.
I'm the type of person that's like, the first date, we can meet at a coffee shop.
Right.
I'm trying to talk to get to know you. You get what I mean? Shit happens, you're adults. That's y'all business. But I'm a very firm believer that you should not go off of the feeling of sex.
Right.
Because that brings lust.
Of course.
And that's not the real feeling of what you feel about that person, because you don't know them. You know them through the feeling of sex, not knowing them for who they are themselves.
Yep.
But I do believe that in this day and age, you should be able to say, you know what? Let's take a quick walk in the park or something if you feel that comfortable. Or let's walk in the city and sightsee so we can get to know each other. Because in this way, you're bouncing questions off each other, or you're talking about things that you both got in common. People don't realize, like, those are dates to get to know each other.
Absolutely.
You don't always have to go eat. And the thing is that also people don't realize, and I say this from my own experience, and even my friends come to me because they like, where you put your boundaries? Everything is boundaries. You need to have boundaries. When people are sitting here and not communicating, and I hate people that just communicate through text. That shit bothers me. I actually like to get on the phone.
Call me, yo.
But the thing about me personally, as an example, I'm not the type to get on the phone unless you're giving me that feeling of you want to do it. FaceTime is not a problem. If I could look at you in your eyes, baby.
Let me tell you something. One thing you just said that's underrated, yo, is getting on the phone.
Yes.
I think, but the problem is most people don't know how to get on the phone because that part is not allowing them to take the time to text it to you. So like people aren't sharp and witty when it comes to it. I think that there's people plan so much what they want to say to people. That's why DMs was a big thing. People slide in the DMs. Why you think it's easy to do that? Because now I could be like, yo, son, what you think I should say to her? You know what I'm saying? I need help. There's a lot of dudes asking for help to give an approach to a woman through Instagram or through IG or through Twitter.
Women do it too.
So it's not as genuine. So you starting off on the wrong foot. That's why, like, if you meeting somebody in the middle of the street, to be able to have that sense of wherewithal to have to hold a conversation, that's important. It's an underrated element to being a human being that counts in a relationship. And then on top of that, like even in a relationship, talking about dating in different spaces to go to. You live in New York, yo, there's so much free shit you can do out here, yo. It's so easy to just go on a normal date and get quality time in, yo. You could bike ride. You could hit a little bike ride scenario.
We could sit on the grass in a park and just talk a bench.
That's the problem. It goes back to you knowing yourself. If you don't know who you are as an individual, if you don't take the time out to learn you're not going to ever link with somebody that's in the common mindset as yourself, because now you're going to look at everybody like they're crazy. So if I don't know who I am as an individual and I don't express that, and I'm just linking up with somebody trying to see if it works, right? If I'm going on a date, whatnot, and we out or whatever, I'm looking at this person like they crazy. It's not their fault, but at the same token, I'm going out with somebody that I shouldn't be going out with because they get a free meal. And that's not, but then again, people get mad and start blaming opposite sexes, male or female. Oh, this person was corny, da-da-da-da-da. Because you dating the wrong type of individual that's not for you. You got to be in environments for you. Like, if I'm a painter, why would I be in Sam Ash or any type of musical selection learning from somebody else that does music? No, I'm not going to learn how to be a great painter if I'm not around other painters
or art or something.
Artists
anything
or creators.
That pertains to the actual art.
So I'm a plumber. I'm not going. If I'm going to be a famous painter, I'm not going to be hanging around a bunch of plumbers. Like that shit don't make no damn sense.
But this is the thing. Like I was just explaining a story, but when we was off camera, like somebody that I used to talk to, and like. He asked me my opinion, and I'm telling Solo and behind the scenes, everybody behind the camera, like, he asked what his red flags were, and I was like, it's not that you have red flags, you're a dope ass person, but you just wasn't for me. I know the type of person I look for, and looks are not everything, but everybody knows the type of person I look at. And my thing is that I'm not gonna sit here and talk to someone and say, hey, I want to talk to you. Yeah, I see myself with you, but knowing good and well you don't, just to say that you're in a relationship. Or sit here and talk to someone and realize that they do shit that pisses you off so much that you realize why the fuck they're single. Like, let's keep it a buck.
Right.
Like, I start to realize that. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't know about you, Solo, I give people the benefit of the doubt because I used to be the type of that cut you the fuck off. As soon as you cut you off. But I realize in age, some people are going through their own thing. Give them a little bit of time, see what it goes. But how much time is too much time? How much time is?
I think you listen, as a human being, you understand we don't learn and get shit the first go around, right?
Nah.
You give somebody an opportunity to grow, right? If that's somebody that you feel like, okay, I can possibly see myself this going a little further. It's still gray areas here and there. I got to figure out certain things, but let me try, right? Now, if the person doesn't show you any effort, any type of like increase of just like interest, then yeah, you move accordingly. But I feel like at the end of the day, like never, I don't want to ever have somebody say to themselves, damn, I wish I'd have just
hung in there.
Yeah, I wish I'd have just hung in there. Or, damn, I was in this for so long knowing I should have just kicked off.
There's never an in between. There's always, you should have left or you should have stayed.
Right. But that, again, people want to rush into things just to have a label attached to themselves. Why you think, and this is nothing towards people who get married, right? But why you think this is one of the craziest scenarios? I used to tell people this, and it's like, yo, it's kind of weird people do this. When a woman gets engaged to a man, right? What is the first thing her homegirl says to her?
Congratulations. What?
Oh, girl, let me see how big that ring is.
I didn't do that with my cousin.
All right, so you remember you said you wanted an anomaly. You an anomaly.
I don't care about the ring size. I'm just more about
because I work with because I work with a lot of women and I'm around a lot of women. One of the main things that they speak on, or one of the things that they highlight, is the ring size. Not, oh my God, he makes you so happy. I'm so happy for y'all. He out here, he make your toes curl, he make your hair stand, he make you blush, all that. Like it's never like the genuine things first. It's always the materialistics that gets involved in first and foremost when speaking on when you congratulating somebody, right? In anything. If you're an NBA player, if you make it to the NBA, people they're not congratulating you on making it to the NBA. They like, that nigga signed for $260 million. Or they ask you how much you making. So it's always, in this time and era, people want to know, it's not genuine. It's not the love that people say that they have or the love that people want. It's not genuine. It's a mirage. So I say to people, if you really want to know somebody, like even I joke with my little nephew about this because he's really big into girls. Obviously, right now he's at that age. Even my own daughters. So I had to joke with him. He was like, yeah, because I like my girls that they got to wear this and look pretty with this. I said, okay, cool. Take it to the pool first. Take it to the pool, see what she really look like. And then you can figure out something if you want to see that every morning. I'm very harsh. I'm very realistic with my family and the people around me. And he starts laughing, then I go, no. So on a serious note, you want to always treat a woman with respect.
Correct.
Start off with that.
Correct.
You do what you got to do first. You lead. Show them who you are as an individual.
You heard what you said. You lead. Some men don't know how to do that.
That's fair. No, I get that.
And some women don't know how to let a man lead. And that, but hold on.
Too.
And I can say this is because somebody's pointed out to me, let him lead. But for me, as a woman, my coping mechanism, which I don't think I should be giving this all on camera, is that that's my wall. Where if I become a little controlling this because I'm trying to protect myself, so I'd rather know what the fuck it is than to not know it all.
It's a defense mechanism. We all have defense mechanisms. It's just knowing when to tone it down, knowing when to use it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because we need it. It's there for a reason. You know, we want to protect our own hearts. We want to protect our because some people don't know how to come back from a heartbreak. Heartbreaks ain't easy, yo. Listen, I'm 6'3", whatever, 200. If my heart I got my heart broke before. I was in the windowsill singing Carl Thomas, like with the raindrops. I was hard. My grown ass, listen, my heart hurt too. Like, people don't understand, like, us guys have emotions as well, right? We get invested in certain people and certain things as well. Some guys, right? Most guys. And then you have some that don't. They just, they fly by night, they move around, whatever. But a lot of guys have invested emotions in people.
That's true.
We just don't show it as much because society has taught us to not show that.
So hold on. I'm going to say this last part because I know we got to wrap up the show. We've been talking about, man, we can keep going.
No, this is all night there. Yeah.
Another thing is that, though, you see how you just said as men, they don't really show the emotions. Yeah. Sometimes I know because of ego-wise, if a woman just shuts that shit down, sometimes being emotionally available to a woman actually gives her some type of sympathy. But you see, nowadays, I'm gonna be honest, niggas be faking shit just to get a reaction out of a woman. And I can't stand it because it's actually called emotional non-intelligence. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right. I mean, look, you have those cases. Absolutely. You have other cases. It's all about perspectives, right? You have those cases where niggas is out here doing the most, being emotional. I can't, like, to be crying in front of the shorty just to get the juice box is insane. That shit is diabolical.
Yo, but I've seen it.
Yo,
I've seen
wild out here, yo. If you out here doing that, yo, if you shedding tears with some juice, that's crazy. But no, but like, I think that if you genuinely open to an individual, it works both ways. The woman has to be receptive and also unjudgmental. Like, you can't judge a man for showing himself, because that'll be the last time he'll show himself.
Oh, of course.
So it's a slippery slope on both ends. But I think that as a man, if you can get to a point where you can do that, and if he can do that in front of you, that's a sign right there to a woman, like, oh, this nigga here, he over here doing this. Don't look at it as him being weak. It's a sign that's saying that, yo, okay, he feels comfortable enough to chop it up with me and bring this to the table. Because most men, we hold shit in because we don't want to look weak. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stigmas out here.
Yeah, but you're
especially being a
also
black man.
but you're also hurting the next person.
True. It's not. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. It's wrong. That's why I say it's the rat race. It's like the wheel with the rat running
Fucking
in place.
annoying as shit.
We're running
Racing,
in place.
Games, whatever.
It's
Nigga,
game,
leave that
yeah.
Monopoly and all that shit. I don't play.
Right. Well, I think that to know a person, go through their kids if they have kids.
Oh yeah, but if their kids are small, it's hard.
You
Like,
can see that. You can feel the energy.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can feel the energy with that.
That is so true, because my son wasn't going to people. But all right, cool beats. All right. I know we got to wrap up. I love the fact that we were able to talk about so much, the EP,
Yes.
how your career started, where
Yes.
it's going. Now, we do this whole new thing on the show now. It's called 6 Questions in 30 Seconds.
Santo, God de Jesus.
6 and 30. So by Miss Brianna Starr. I'm
Let's
always
get
going to
it.
give her credit for it.
Shout out
So
to Bree.
I'm just going
Shout
to
out to Bree.
sporadically just throw out questions to you.
Brianna Starr single out right now. Just to
Yo.
remind y'all, never mind. It's out right now on all streaming platforms. Make sure
Hello.
you go stream that. Go cop that. Yeah, my fault. I'm sorry.
No, we going to always promote. What is your hidden talent? Don't
Yo,
lie.
I can act like a motherfucker. I'm saying that shit out now.
Ladies, please don't take that into.
All right. I like doing voiceovers. It's just been like a burning desire in me to do a fucking voice. Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, yo. I be watching cartoons with my
I'm
daughters, yo, and then she loves it. This is where I knew I was good. I know we got 6 seconds.
Yeah.
My daughter would do that, and then she'll ask me to do the same voice over, and I would be able to do it and have her laugh, and that makes the world to me.
So in other words, he
So,
was
yeah.
doing the
Yeah.
Boondocks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look out.
Have you written songs for other people?
I have.
How many people have you written for?
Artists in total? I've written over like 10 different records for like 10 different artists.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
At least, yeah.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a risk taker?
I'm a Libra, so I'm kind of
Lord.
I'm a Libra, so whatever that means, I am. No, actually, I'm both. I'm risk taker, but I be nervous as fuck at the same token.
Yeah, because you were nervous to come on here. We talked about it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I do it, but I'm like, hold up.
Now, do you trust people easily? In this day and age?
I've learned not to,
Okay.
but I've learned not to close the book. I've learned to just be aware more
Okay.
through my father.
Okay.
But yeah,
What is one thing you would change about yourself now that you notice as you're progressing in life?
one thing I would change
Mhm.
is to be. All right, my father. Shout out to my father for this quote. One thing I would change is to be slower to speak and quicker to listen.
Mm.
I think you learn more and your
Mhm.
answers get answered if
Correct.
you just shut the fuck up and listen to people.
Yeah, I'm
So,
learning that.
I was always, even younger, like jumping in. Like I wanted to get my point across. I wanted to, it's me. I need to be heard. But I think to be heard is to listen. So, yeah.
All right. And last but not least, I know you just said a quote.
Mm.
If for all those that are really watching and admiring you for everything that you're doing, what is one thing you would tell them right now if they were on the same journey of music, being that they're young?
Don't hold on to anything. I think don't hold on to fake friends, fake relationships, music. I think the more that and then letting go is not a bad thing. Letting go of music and knowing who you are, that's how you grow as an artist and as a
Correct.
person. So don't hold on to any negativity. Don't hold on to anything that's not going to be conducive to your progress. Keep going, head up. Shit gonna happen.
It's life.
That's
One day
life,
at a
yo,
time.
baby.
That's
Tú
it.
sabes.
That's it.
Ya tú sabes.
Yo quiero saber.
Ya tú sabes. ¿Qué no sabes?
I'm done. Well, Solo, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yo, look, this podcast is off the fucking chain. Y'all see the ambiance. L's in the building. The team is amazing. The production is amazing.
Thank you.
You are doing something amazing, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of everybody that you work with in this place. I'm not going to shut nobody out too much right now because I don't know if they want to be in front of the camera, but I see you.
My
doing
makeup artist and my
major things.
producer. Hi.
You guys are amazing. Yo,
Slash nail tech too.
oh my God, yo. Just, for real though. This is dope. This is super dope.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Well,
you.
guys, thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you tune in. You know, I'm going to put all the Solos, social media,
Yep.
music, everything going to be on this episode at the end. So make sure you go and stream his music on every major platform. Okay. And thanks for tuning in to Undeniable Truth, y'all. Laters.
No better time, stay ready. Closed another deal on my celly, dog. 1942.